Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys had a great weekend. We are now doing the Numerology and the Astrology for Monday, July 20th, 2020. If you add all those numbers together, you get the number 13, and if you add the 1 and the 3 together, you get the number 4. As you've heard me say many times before, the 4 is a number of neutrality and harmony and communication and negotiation and diplomacy. And, it's the number of psychologists and people who work with other people and people who try and be that go-between or the middle person. And so the number 4, I like to think of as, a room has 4 walls, and the 4 walls, if you have solid 4 walls, you have a solid, stable house that you can build upon. And so calmness and neutrality is that stability upon which you can build some other things. So, but I also think of the number 4 as the bridge, that connection between heaven and earth to heaven. And you have to stay calm to be able to channel divine energy through you in a calm way and then figure out how to manifest that in the physical. So yes, staying calm in the face of insanity is incredibly hard. And to not let the chaos of the world upset your inner peace, easy to say, but very hard to do. Within your human self is a soul that is ancient, wise, and experienced. Just because you feel as if you are up against something unfamiliar in this moment in time does not mean that within your soul is not a past life part or ancestral part that is not not familiar with something similar. So basically, somewhere inside of you, some ancestral lineage part or some past life part has probably had worse experiences than this moment, more challenging experiences, and somehow made it through and probably has a tremendous amount of awareness and information for you. But when you're in that knee-jerk reaction, you can't access those whispers, those subtle messages that come in through the deep subconscious, and in Buddhism they call it twilight language. And so you have to learn to maintain for long periods of time a state of calmness in order to be able to access that deeper knowledge within your brain. I always say, the scientists say that we use 10% of our brain. So then what is the other 90%? Well, I think it's this ancestral lineage, this information that is there, but sometimes we don't know how to have access to it. And so what I find is that's what meditation is about, is to slow down, calm down, be still, drop in, and start to listen instead of to the noise of the ego and I want this and I'm right and da-da-da-da-da, but to drop in and actually listen from a place of stillness and silence, which is that neutral mind. So somewhere within you is a reference point that is a starting point for knowing how to move forward in such terrible times. It is in the calm places that this wisdom has a chance to filter from the subconscious to your conscious mind. So seek deep within you today. Your shallow human self knows not the power and wisdom held in your soul. You are more than you know. You are infinite and eternal, precious and divine, and so is everyone else. Even if they have forgotten and got lost in the emotionality of this moment, their ego, and this karmic journey, they are also infinite, eternal, precious, and divine. Okay, the astrology for today. The moon is in Cancer until around 4 p.m. East Coast time, and then it enters Leo. Actions will be required and inspired. The energy for this fresh start is that it is if you are willing. It is a time for decisions. Urgency is pushing things forward. The old home that we believed we built and deserved has burned down in the storms of hate. Our foundations have been rocked by those laws and rules that have but those laws and rules that have validity can hold the line of freedom. My home, where I sit in my energy field, so my home base, not my physical home, but my energetic spiritual home, is one for freedom for all. My home is one that cares for others and knows the importance of feeling safe within our communities. What does it take to feel as if you belong in this world? It takes you knowing that you have something to offer this world, and in deciding to find a way to give that. We are in the new moon, which is in the morning, and at the very last degree of Cancer, which is 29 degrees. You've heard me say before, first and last magnify the energy. So this new moon packs a punch. As it was coming in, I was personally exhausted. I took a 5-hour nap in the middle of the day yesterday. Something I never do. It is a time to intuitively weigh your options. A higher vibration is attempting to connect to you. You can feel that you are balancing the feminine and the masculine inside and outside. Everything is new. Something is being born. What that will become is up to us and the level of commitment that we are willing to put into what is right and honorable in the world. The new moon is opposed by the demanding and responsible planet Saturn. Some may want to curl up in a fetal position to escape this horrible reality that we are witnessing. Another part wants to nurture and be nurtured. And finally, there is another part that is seriously looking at the responsibilities in front of you in the immediate future. Finding that proper balance is going to be difficult. During this new moon, think before you speak. Talkative Mercury is making a challenge to assertive Mars, and the wounded healer teacher asteroid Chiron is in impatient Aries. Expect a tremendous amount of verbal abuse in politics with terrible and angry words. I expect more protests to pick up steam again for some reason, which we'll probably find out tomorrow. The saving grace is the compassionate Neptune, which is making a harmonious trine to the new moon. And this will give you a depth to go within and to tap into your empathetic and intuitive side. In case you didn't notice, you are giving yourself a reality check. While doubt, hate, pessimism, sadness, guilt, and fear are all a part of normal life right now, know that all effort is noticed and appreciated if you go in a different direction. Just because you are trying does not mean you will feel as if you are succeeding today. Know that you will encounter blocks and obstacles. Progress is actually happening rapidly in the world where we have to stay and work from home. So just kind of know that so much is changing on so many levels related to corporations and how they're going to be doing business and how business is going forward. So just kind of recognize that, sometimes again, the plant is going this way and sometimes the plant is putting its roots and expanding its roots. We're expanding our roots at the moment. So growth is happening. It's just going down. Realize that focusing on what you are feeling is not productive, nor is it helpful. Notice that if you are moving your energy. Notice if you do have limits, and that is okay. You are human. You have been under stress for a very long time. Know your limits, and if you do that, it helps you work in more constructive ways. This new world demands that all of us develop real solutions to the lethargy of changing into solutions that might work for more constructive and a cooperative world. Be humble, call out your very mature side, take things slowly. You will find a pathway that is going to show you another way to live and work. Okay, my quote for today. Actions are now required to be inspired. You are here to make a difference in the world. Your staying and working from home does just that. Your staying home gives the animals more freedom to just be. Your staying home helps the air and pollution. You are making a difference in small but substantial ways, and they build up over time. Okay, my blog for today. Honestly, I really do love how Mother Nature has turned us around and shifted us in so many radical ways. She did it with a powerful subtlety that simply forces us to not drive so much, to not fall into our addictive patterns because we can't go get our ice cream or our favorite baked dessert. And she shows us that to work from home, we save time driving in traffic. Corporations are forced to rethink and relook at the terrible work environments that were unhealthy because of the noise and irritation. It makes companies look at their bottom line and what really makes a company work. Egos don't make companies run smoothly. Egos don't pay bills. It is the people that do the work, and if they get out of if the corporations get out of their way and let them do it without all the egos trying to micromanage, it is amazing how much can get done with less stress and less upset. Some are rediscovering the joy of working with a dog in their lap or next to them as they are on their computer. And dogs and cats are much happier also. Home-cooked meals are again the norm. Families are eating together, chatting about their day, sharing and connecting in more meaningful ways. You can take breaks when you need them. You can take a nap after lunch because you're not rushing and suddenly you have time for a 20-minute power nap. And American and global workers are getting the jobs done. I am so proud of us. They are keeping the economy moving and alive. I am so proud of all those Americans continuing to do what they can and sewing together a new tapestry in our new and evolving country. Thank you, America.